So, welcome to my first book review ever, and it took quite a while to get here, but I had a lot of very amazing people that encouraged me to do this, and so I'm really happy that finally I'm here recording this review. So, there is only first one for this. There were quite a lot of thoughts into which book to present, and I chose to talk today about the Incerto Trilogy from Nassim Nicholas Taleb. I do think that probably Nassim Nicholas Taleb is one of the most critical thinker and that we have at the moment, and also he had a lot of influence on my way of thinking and seeing the world, and also learning more about myself. So there are basically three books inside. The first one is Fooled by Randomness, where he talks about how we perceive random events and also how we act on it. Then there is The Black Swan. This is probably the most well-known book from him. I would also argue it's probably the one that's the most misunderstood, because he gets always cited as the one that predicted the financial crisis. But if you read the book and also listen to him, what he's saying is that you cannot predict the financial crisis. The only thing is that he predicted a financial crisis. And this is very easy to do. There are going to be other financial crises in the future as well. So, and he doesn't boast on this, but I think also, like, when you look at some TV reviewers or so, he normally just gets annoyed by people citing him for this, and he's pretty bold about it, that he didn't do it, and he's not a miraculous fortune teller. Then there is the third kind of big book in the trilogy, Anti-Fragile. From my point of view, this book is amazing. This is really also the one that I find the most interesting from him. I think there's really the three books there, they work very good together. They build up, I think, one on another, but they're all, you can read them just on their own. And I think also, if you ask him, like on Twitter or so, he normally states that you can read whatever you want in whatever order you want, and that's totally true. Each book has kind of like its own ideas and topics that he talks about and that he builds up, so no problem. I still think that if you read them in order, Fooled by Randomness, Black Swan, and Anti-Fragile, you might get maybe a little bit more out of it in terms of some of the topics they build one up on the other. For example, in Fooled by Randomness, he already talks about the Black Swan problem. And the other thing is that you really remark also a little bit like how he develops. He gets more kind of critical in his writing and his writing style. So from this point of view, I think also it's good to start with Fooled by Randomness and then go to the Black Swan and Anti-Fragile. But as said, nothing prevents you from doing otherwise, or just pick the one that you like the most first. Now, in terms of, I went through them, I think, twice as an audiobook, and I'm now also reading it as a hardcover, and I do think that it's really, it doesn't matter which way you go. One of the things is he has a lot of really great references in the books, and this is the only thing that was a little bit annoying with the audiobook, kind of trying to understand the names, titles, looking it up on the internet to get the references out. But I think it's a very little problem, not at all a problem, I think. There is a fourth little book coming with the whole trilogy. This is The Bed of Procrustes, and so I think it's really great, and it's a nice little book. Don't get this as an audiobook. This, if you look, it's just like you get all kind of aphorisms all the way through the book. I think it might be really boring to somebody just reading it to you, one after the other. But I think it's a great book just to have next to your bed or whatever, and one times a day. You just open it, you read an aphorism, you think about it, philosoph about it, and so it has a lot of it really stimulates you in thinking and just developing new ideas. I think that's it for the moment for me with the Incerto Trilogy. I'm gonna do separate reviews of each of the books because I think that they deserve it, and I don't want to do this video too long. And I think also books they're really great in terms of its, even if you get a summary of the books, they're super interesting to read, and you cannot, I mean, each summary kind of cuts out the things, but there are these books that you can just summarize in 3-4 sentences, and that's it, and you get the concept, and you don't really have to read the books, right? This is absolutely not the case with these books, and I think each single page and sentence is really kind of worth reading. So don't get like a get abstract or something for these books. I think it would be really a shame. And I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you will enjoy the reviews of the single books that I'm gonna put out pretty soon. So thanks a lot, and see you soon.